in the Democratic Party. And then they have a bunch of phony baloney tricks and a bunch of other things that don't give them the organic support that we really believe they are. And all the elitist institutions are the same way. They don't have organic, the New York Times, the Washington Post, they don't have its circulation anymore, it just doesn't exist. But they always are creating that illusion that they have that. So anyway, that's why the Trump administration does not want us to refer to any of this as being a civil war, because that's the label that they want to use, and that they would love for us to use, because then that makes
it's more like an AI war.
Feeds into paranoia, and it makes us believe that we have fellow Americans that are against us. And I'm gonna tell you something now that was later in the presentation. The people we should feel really bad for right now, and I do, I truly do, I feel very bad for these people, are the rank and file Democrats and liberals who are caught right now in a very bad situation, because the Democratic Party, the elites of the Democratic Party right now are going through what we used to call counter-revolution, a purification process. They are victimizing their own members. They're going through this. We just saw a couple of high officials of the Democratic Party be murdered over in, where was it? In Minnesota. And we just found out that the governor of Minnesota may have had something to do with it. Tim Walz. Yeah, Tim Walz. But what's really strange is that it's not that rare. It's not that rare because Democrats are going through this process. They are, and it doesn't put us in, it doesn't put any Republicans or conservatives in danger. It puts their own people in danger. Because again, they're going through that counter-revolutionary process where they are both killing their own members physically, and also they're doing what's called character assassination, which is not physical, but it still hurts. It hurts a lot. And their own members who display any sort of disloyalty, they're at the drop of a hat, they're going after them and destroying their lives. So like I said, this is not a civil war where it's like Republicans and conservatives against Democrats, because I would suggest to you, at this point, they're in more trouble, especially if they're rank and file people. They're in more trouble than ever, because if they send in that change, Mayor Eric Adams did this. He sent in the change to change himself from the Democratic Party to independent, and he just did that. And you know what the Democratic Party did in that to get him? They tried to lock him up, one thing, and they also built up this new communist who's running against him to actually win that election. And that young communist is going to win that election. He's going to become the new mayor of New York City, and they're going to throw Eric Adams into obscurity. They have character assassinated him, and that is happening to more and more Democrats. I'm telling you, if you know any Democrats, right now they are in terrible danger. They are in terrible danger, and they need to find a way to get out of that situation without letting the Democratic Party know. Without letting them know. Because if they find out, they're going to implement the purification process, the counter-revolutionary process, the pogrom. It's an old communist term. That is what the Communist Party used to do to its own members that display any disloyalty.